taking heat, and it's actually been quite a while since I actually did a vlogging video. And obviously, the topic of the day is Black Ops 3. Yesterday, we got the reveal trailer, and I must admit, I'm pretty hyped up for it. I was very hyped up. I loved everything I saw in the trailer. Um, I like the path that Call of Duty is going. As much as people hate futuristic, I personally love it. As in all honesty, I see the entire Call of Duty franchise as a timeline. We went from World War II to modern day era, and obviously it's gonna lead on to future. However, something else that I love is seeing the different companies' depiction of how the future is gonna be and their creativeness to how our gameplay is gonna be. Advanced Warfare, Sledgehammer obviously did theirs in a EXO like future where now we're gonna be having these robotic mechanics all over our bodies to better enhance our movements. Some people liked it. Majority of people liked it at first. It was a good refresh, but then they slowly started to hate it to where now they don't want it to be in the game at all. Treyarch, however, they've gone along a somewhat similar path. We have these kind of like enhanced movements, but it isn't as crazy as Advanced Warfare. In fact, just before I'm making this video, I decided to watch tons and tons of videos from the YouTubers who got more information because they did send out I think like 10 or so YouTubers to actually go play the multiplayer for Black Ops 3, and the reason for that is because being in a 3-year cycle, now they have a longer chance to actually better create the multiplayer, and that means it will be a lot quicker for, I guess, testing. So that probably also explains why we're starting to have betas now, but I'll talk about that later. According to these YouTubers, the exos, it's not exactly exo movement. It's not like how we're playing in Advanced Warfare. In fact, it's now, the technical term is thrust boosting, and the way how this works is kind of a slower paced it's a slower paced movement whenever you use it. The jumps. When it comes to the jumps, obviously we have our regular jumping, but then we have the thrust jump that kind of only lasts around a second, maybe a second or two, and the way how it works is they kind of have it limited in multiple ways. First of all, it's slow. They all mention that it is slow and that you will be at a disadvantage while using that. And I think that's pretty interesting, and I think it's actually a pretty good thing for a lot of people who are worried about all this. Seeing how it's slow, it's pretty good because a lot of people were saying how aerial gunfights just won't be a popular thing in the game. It's something that you won't try to do. It's more of a help to get from point A to point B without having to use ladders or sometimes even stairs. It's more of a, I guess it's more of a movement assist more than a movement tactic for your gunfights, if that makes any sense. So when you're using this, not only is it slow, but it's also limited to a gauge. And with this gauge, as you're using this movement, you kind of see a U-shaped gauge that I guess you could call it like a battery life, where it actually shows like how long you can actually be in this style of movement. And I like that. I really do like that because it, in a way, it nerfs these movements, and a lot of people are probably going to be a lot happy for it, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be waiting for either the beta or to play at E3 or Gamescom, because that is the only place that they said you can actually be playing it for now. So for that, I'm excited for. Like I said before, I don't mind if exosuits come back, but at the same time, I don't mind if they don't. I'm okay with either or. I was happy playing both styles and seeing how they've kind of done it to where they can cater to both parties. I think that's a pretty smart thing. I actually believe that the U-shaped fuel gauge was kind of put in later on. After Advanced Warfare, and they saw the kind of backlash they got on it. They probably put that in as a way to, not get the same backlash Sledgehammer got. So, besides that, they also have wall running. Now, when I saw the reveal trailer, I saw the wall runs and immediately looked at it like they definitely got that out of Titanfall. Like, I know when they were in production, it was kind of before we heard about Advanced Warfare and Titanfall, but I'm pretty sure over time they saw some stuff and they got inspired and decided to put it into the game. When they mentioned when they showed these wall runs, I thought it was going to be everywhere. I thought it was going to be kind of crazy as a different. I'm sorry, my throat has just been feeling weird. Thought they were going to have this everywhere. I thought it was going to be kind of insane. But according to those who played the multiplayer, it's not everywhere and it's nothing too crazy. And in fact, it also uses your fuel. So you also have a limitation on how long you can stay on these walls. And they even mentioned that at the moment it depletes, you're going to fall. And they have some walls where they are somewhat off the map. So if your fuel runs out, you're dead pretty much. So nothing getting out of that. They also mentioned that the wall runs do take momentum and that you do have to hit at a certain angle to perform this wall run. And I find that pretty interesting, and I find that as a good nerf in a way, because a lot of people who at least play Call of Duty, in my honest opinion, they're kind of new to all these movements. They're kind of new to the double jumps. They're kind of new to the verticality movements. So they don't like this sense of changing come to their games. So I think what Treyarch is doing is they're slowly getting them used to it. Even though Sledgehammer just threw it right in their face, Treyarch is kind of showing them like this is a thing in the game, but it's nothing too critical to where you're just gonna be like, fuck this game. I can't do this. And I like that. I like what Treyarch is doing. Like I said, I have a lot of faith in what Treyarch is doing because they know how to make good CODs. We've loved all their CODs in the past, and I'm pretty sure we're going to definitely love this one. Another good thing that I think a lot of classic Call of Duty members will love is that, according to these YouTubers who played the multiplayer, a lot of the movements and a lot of the gunfights is going to be traditional. Because using these thruster movements, it's not really for your gunfights. It's more so for just getting from point A to point B without using these slow maneuvers like using ladders. Because they even said that, according to one of the YouTubers, they even said that when we first had ladders into Black Ops 3, they looked at it and said, this is actually kind of slow. This is kind of slow paced and you are vulnerable. And I agree with that. I do agree with that. Whenever you go into like Black Ops 2 or any other COD in the past, when you use these ladders and stuff, you were kind of iffy about using it because you do know that using so, for one, your back is turned to everybody. Your back is turned to everyone. You can't see what's going on. You're just seeing the ladder that you're climbing. And you can't use your weapon in it, so you're dead vulnerable. The moment you use it, you're having that short amount of time where you're a sitting duck. And I believe Treyarch is finally looking at that like it's a big disadvantage and there needs to be another way. So that's another reason why they're putting these thrust boosters, is just so they don't make you as vulnerable. And speaking of which, whenever you're doing any of these like mantling stuff, and by the way, the mantling, it's kind of automatic now to, I believe it's now a parkour style thing like Brink, where pretty much where you sprint at anything, you sprint at something that's like waist level, you're gonna automatically mantle over it. I think if you see like a kind of wall that's reachable, I think it's also going to be an automatic mantling where you might have to look up at it like Brink, and you'll do a mantle system over that, or you'll just use your thrust boosters and get over it in a slow manner. Now, when it comes to vulnerability, when you do this stuff, when you do mantling, when you do wall runs, when you do your thrust boosters, you're not as vulnerable as you may think, because you can still hold your weapon up, you can still aim down sight, you can still shoot at the target, you can still shoot at whoever you want. So I do like the fact that they did that even with the mantle system, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be like, from the looks of things, like Brink and like Ghost, to where you're mantling with one hand but shooting with the other. So you can always be in a gun engagement without feeling like you're at a bigger disadvantage as the other CODs. So I do like that. Treyarch is definitely, they've definitely taken these 3 years into consideration. They've definitely done their things to improve it a lot. There's actually a lot more stuff that they've been doing that I'll definitely be mentioning in other videos, because seeing how many things they've done, because they've had like different characters that you can play in multiplayer. They have theater mode. It's back. Theater mode is back, and I can't wait to hear more information about that. They've added in like a whole new style of customization to your weapon. Um, for movements, they've also added like swimming. If you guys saw in the reveal trailer, that is also multiplayer. It's not as common though in the maps, but it is a thing. Um, there's just so many stuff I can't even remember it all off the top of my head. When I'm getting all these information, I'm constantly watching all the YouTubers' videos who went out and actually played it. So whenever you hear me talk, it's more of a second source, or I guess you call it like a third source, because I'm getting my sources from these people who have actually now had the experience. So yeah, I know all my stuff might not be as flowing accurately, but it's just to give you an idea of what is going on. So, Black Ops 3. Cannot wait. I definitely gonna pre-order this game, no doubt about it. The beta, I did get a quick information on when you might be able to play the beta, and it might be 2 months before full release, so maybe around like September. And I can kind of understand that, because finally everything that they themselves have been working on will be done, and now the beta is just going to be giving them bits of information on like, hey, this is OP, this needs to be tweaked, uh, just tiny bits of things that they can improve before full release. So September time might be beta time. Can't wait for that. As far as when you can actually play the multiplayer outside of that, it'll just be E3 and Gamescom, and they mentioned that you could play it, at least for beta, on all consoles, including PC, which I'm pretty excited about. And there's actually something else I want to mention, but I might do it in a later on video, because this video has actually been going on for quite a long time. So this is just the first part of all this multiplayer and I guess full Black Ops 3 reveals that we have been getting, because Treyarch has definitely taken advantage of this 3 years and I've added in so much that I think some people might find it a bit too much, but I myself will find this as to be something new, as in like 3 months into the lifespan of Black Ops 3, you won't feel like you've already experienced the entire game. I feel like they've had so much things that you're constantly wanting to, like, you'll look at something and just like, ooh, I never tried that. Let me do this. You're gonna have fun for a month or so. Find something new. Try that for a month or so. And there's just so much that it's just gonna keep you busy, um, with Black Ops 3, and I really do love that. I think Treyarch has definitely set the standards for the next COD and other CODs to come, because they have gone all out, and I feel like they've been doing that within every COD, within every of their COD to come out. They've definitely been raising the bar, and Treyarch, full respect. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give a like, comment. I'll definitely be posting out more videos on this. So if you want, subscribe to my channel. I know some of my stuff is kind of getting my sources from other big YouTubers, but they're the ones who actually got the experience, so it's best for me to rely on them so I can let you guys know what's going on and share you guys my thoughts. So yeah. Till next time, this has been your boy Second Heat. Oh, by the way, it's my birthday, so just turned 19. I still am pretty young. I hope to have many birthdays on into the future, but for now, I'm happy to live another year. 19 years on this planet have been pretty good. 2015, I have high hopes for you, even though I kind of started off in a shitty way, breaking my leg and shit. That's totally different. You know, I'm just happy to live another year, and I'm happy to continue doing YouTube. So, once again, hope you enjoyed the video. Till next time, this has been your birthday boy, Taking Heat, and I'm out. Peace.